You may not know this, but we cut down on the rain a little bit by going out to the side and parking underneath some trees. Granted, we are next to a cop now.
and a truck. And a truck on this side. So, yeah. Interesting day.
Look at the semi-truck. There's way more illegal stuff going on in there.
Right.
They have tons of people buried in that truck bed. We've only got one person in the trunk. I mean...
What? No.
Don't mind us, officer.
No,
We're YouTubers.
We're YouTubers.
We do have a big giveaway this time, so I ended up giving, this will be for a contest over on Patreon, so click on our Patreon link in the description and comments below where you can enter a contest to win a couple things that were way bigger than I thought they would be. We have the world's biggest bucket. This is where half of the budget for Rise of Skywalker went. It went to these giant beach buckets that you could just fill up with popcorn. Hey, if you're going to go see a Star Wars movie, of course you want the largest bucket you can find. And the biggest damn drink with C-3PO's head on top of it.
Oh dear.
You're like, oh dear. Oh my, oh that tickles. It's like Star Wars blood-sucking freaks. I do miss my teeth.
By the way, I just want to point out that this bucket is big enough to fit the Rise of Skywalker's plot holes in it.
Hey, that's my line. Well, this is big. This is a good enough shape for an episode of Will It Fit?
Wait, what?
And the next, oh, you don't know that old joke? That's a gag we do on the site sometime. And the next episode of Will It Fit? C-3PO's gonna become C-3PU. No one warned me about this, sir. Get down in there. All right, we're done.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Really glad we're joking about this and for Like a Boss and not just the beginning of Just Mercy.
Right.
Yeah, so we saw two movies. We'll go ahead and talk about Like a Boss first, since that's the first one that we saw. And I don't know, have you already forgotten about this damn movie?
I mean, there wasn't much to remember.
It was only 80 minutes long.
Yeah, thank you. Thank God. I mean...
I'll give it that. Like,
yeah,
I see so many bad comedies that are pushing 2 hours.
Yeah.
This one was in and out. It was 80 minutes. I mean, I'll freaking give it that.
Yeah.
When I was talking to you about this on the phone the other day, it sounded like you didn't get a trailer for this movie?
I actually remember it now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just, that's how unmemorable this movie is that the trailer was even just like,
well,
whatever.
you didn't get in front of every movie like I did like the past month. I got this in front of tons of movies that I'd go see. I mean, granted, I guess you and I do go see a lot of the, like, Oscar baity movies, so I don't know if they'll show Like a Boss in front of Richard Jewell.
I was gonna say, is that intentional? Did you like, do you do that by design, or?
No, it's just this time of year. There's a lot of stuff like that out. I mean, you know, we had Just Mercy and the obvious Oscar cash-in Like a Boss.
Obviously.
We saw two movies tonight. Just a Boss and Like Mercy. All right, so this is the buddy movie.
Why is Jamie Foxx in this girl power rom-com?
Did he sign up for this when he did Booty Call and Bait? So this is the one with Rose Byrne and Tiffany Haddish, where they run their own makeup studio, and this is the second movie I've seen this month that has jokes about the fact that the characters' names start with M, so they call him Eminem.
Are you serious?
Yeah, The More the Merrier did that. That was part of the title. Eminem, The More the Merrier, because the sisters... Oh, you missed out on that one. At least you had the 80-minute bad comedy. More the Merrier was 2 hours and 10 minutes long.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
damn it, dude! I am so sorry. I missed that.
No, it's fine.
So sorry.
It was funny seeing me describe it to Laura. Like, she had a brain aneurysm talking about the plot of that movie. I don't know. There's not much to say about this movie in that, like, they're in debt for $500,000, so they end up selling part of their company to Salma Hayek, who's this makeup fashion mogul in the movie.
Yeah.
Of course, they end up getting screwed, and in order to... It telegraphs everything that's going to happen in the movie.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
they're best friends.
Everything's foreshadowed, like...
Oh, like crazy.
Yeah.
They're best friends, and you know that... as if you didn't know there's going to be, like, a third act breakup in this thing. Salma Hayek is trying to break up their friendship.
Which, by the way... Who puts a friendship clause into a business contract?
I don't know.
The fuck?
They have a friendship clause that Salma Hayek's trying to break.
Yeah.
And all throughout this, they're talking about how Salma Hayek might be so bitter because she started out with another best friend. You're like, okay, well, this person's going to come into it at the end and, like, save the day, most likely.
Right.
And... what I'll say about this movie
are we keeping that under wraps?
No, I'll get to that later.
Okay.
Because I do want to I do want to get back to that. But what I'll say about this is, yes, this movie's not very good.
No.
But not at all. But I was more so sitting through it slightly frustrated than I was mad or even annoyed, really. The reason being is I could see elements of it that could have worked under a script that would have taken longer than 5 minutes to write.
Yeah.
Because here's what I'll say about this movie that's okay. You know, the plot, like, you get a great enough screenwriter, you could probably make something out of this plot.
Sure.
Also, the two actors I thought had okay chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they worked well off of each other in some scenes, to the point to where I'm like, okay, in a much more polished script, Rose Byrne and Tiffany Haddish could have played well off each other. There's plenty of times in the movie where characters are just rambling out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just stuttering their way through some improving, most likely.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Billy Porter in that scene where he gets fired, I leaned into you and I was like, dude, tell me that was all improv.
Because that's an improv I would have been okay with.
Yeah, because that was actually kind of funny.
It's ruined in the trailer. They put that joke in the trailer.
That is true. I remember that.
But I'll even say that I've seen movies with Tiffany Haddish where she's pretty good, and then I've seen others where it's like they gave her no direction, that she's just screaming through the movie, like the Tyler Perry movie I saw, Nobody's Fool. Which, yeah,
the fact that you went to, I mean, duh, it's Tyler Perry. I mean, Jesus, duh.
This, she goes over the top when she needs to be in this, and then there's other scenes that she and Rose Byrne are working fine off of each other, and like I said, like, their characters were fine. I thought their chemistry was fine, just in this throwaway movie.
Yeah.
And Salma Hayek, I thought, had the potential to be a really good character in this.
Yeah.
Like, she's going for it with these, like, cap teeth that she has in it, this wig. She's really playing a character in this. It reminded me of, like, appropriate enough title, The Boss, the Melissa McCarthy movie, where I was like, this is a shitbag script, but this character has potential. And I kind of felt that way about Salma Hayek in this movie. Billy Porter, who's the gay best friend.
Yeah.
At first, I thought, like, is this going to be like the R-rated version of Hollywood from Mannequin? Where, like, Hollywood! Like,
I'll have to take your word for it. I don't know.
Mannequin? You don't remember Mannequin?
I mean, yeah, no, I never saw it.
Really? Oh, that's a classic.
I know it's a classic.
Academy Award nominated Mannequin.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because the Starship, so nothing's going to stop us with that for that song.
Nice.
Should have been up for Best Picture. Well, one of his first lines in it is there's a part, you see this in the trailer, where they're talking to this girl and it's prom night. Jennifer, they're saying like, "Don't give it up on prom night," and Jennifer Coolidge says something like, "Yeah, those are your peak tight years."
Yeah, you're only tight for so long.
Yeah, and then it cuts over to gay best friend who's like, "Tell me about it, honey." I'm like, is this what we're gonna be doing with this character? And honestly, no. Like,
yeah.
He's certainly over the top, but realistically so, honestly. That was really kind of the only gag like that he had.
There was so much product placement in this fucking movie, too.
Was there?
Zillow, Wix.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
God,
okay. I mean, I guess I didn't think anything of it because it's a movie about products. So maybe I didn't notice it as much. But
so much fucking product placement. They even was like... they kind of worked in that scene whenever you first meet Karan Soni, which, by the way, thank God Karan Soni isn't casted as a driver in this movie, because he does so many roles these days where he is a driver, and it's just like, wow, is that all Hollywood's going to do?
What else has he been in?
He was in Stuber.
That's Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh.
Yo.
Honest mistake.
Is he but genuine question though. What else have I seen the dude in this movie? Is he
the dude in this movie?
Yeah.
Apparently, I have no idea.
Isn't that the guy from Short Circuit?
Johnny Five, you are alive.
But my thing about this movie is really that, like I said, I wasn't sitting there pissed off during the movie. I was mainly just sitting there going, this movie's just lazy. It's not funny, and it's edited weird.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, so he was the taxi cab driver in Deadpool.
Okay.
But wow, okay. So to my defense, those two guys do look a lot alike.
In my defense,
I'm sorry.
I mean, really, don't they all just?
I'm not saying that, but I am saying those two specific guys. I mean,
no. I mean, he was great when he won an Oscar for playing Gandhi. He's aged perfectly well. Yes. Well, see, you knew he was from Deadpool. That's fine.
I did recognize him from Deadpool, and the guy in Stuber does kind of look like him.
At least you're not sitting there going like, I'm just assuming he was in Warrior Johnson. Maybe, I don't know. Extra in the background somewhere. But anyway, what else? To go back to the comments. Like a boss.
The comments. Just wait.
You'll be fine.
Just wait.
They'll be way madder at you for liking Star Wars a few weeks ago.
True. That's true.
No, this felt like this movie's not as it's bad, but it's not as bad as Playing with Fire that I saw like a month ago. They're edited similar, where it feels like the editing's not done, because it's a movie that's weirdly quiet through a lot of it, except for the dialogue, and there are so many pause for laughter moments in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's wildly noticeable, especially when the jokes don't land. They're just really lazy sitcom jokes.
Yes.
And then it'll cut to a reaction shot of somebody, Rose Byrne, Tiffany Haddish, someone, anyone. And there's so many gags that are just there to be gags and not really play into much else, whether it's Rose Byrne acting weird at a party, or the thing with the ghost pepper. Yeah. And it's just a series of gags like that, extended gags.
And it's like I said, this movie tried so hard to be Bridesmaids, but didn't do a very good job of it.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the ghost pepper scene, it's almost the same thing as the whole the cake the cake scene. The cake shop scene.
And it's repetitive too. There's so many speeches about friendship in the movie. Over and over again, the power of friendship. We want to make this product to showcase friendship.
Am I seeing a chick flick, or is this an anime?
No, what it is like the movie's so about friendship that when the mystery friend of Salma Hayek comes in at the end, they got one of our most famous friends, Lisa Kudrow, pops up at the end of this movie. But again, I've seen bad comedies where I'm just sitting there pissed. I mean, recently, off the top of my head, there was The Hustle last year, and Life of the Party, and movies like that. This was more one of those cases where I was like, I could actually see slight potential in this, scattered here and there, if I'm really, really reaching. But the whole thing just feels like with the way the jokes are, the repetitive nature of it, the way it's shot, the way it's edited, the way it looks and feels like you're binge watching a bad Netflix sitcom.
Yeah. And with Jennifer Coolidge there, you might think it's Two Broke Girls.
Oh, is she on that?
Oh, you didn't know? Okay.
No, I never really watched that.
Yeah. I've seen a few episodes. Mostly it was whenever I was in that relationship in Springfield.
Well, if you wanted extended gross out gags in a movie with Jennifer Coolidge, just hang back and watch an American Pie movie. Honestly.
That was a great role for Coolidge.
Oh, she was great in that.
Let's talk about Coolidge for a little bit, because I think that if given the right role, she is just awesome.
Oh, totally.
She is awesome.
Christopher Guest movies, American Pie.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Friends that she's on.
I forget that one.
That's the one where she's their friend who is living in Europe and comes back with a ridiculously fake accent. It's one of the later season episodes.
Okay.
But
I have to look that one up.
She's not even bad in this.
I'll tell you
wasted,
what. You know who she reminds me of in this movie? Tiffany.
Oh, this girl that we knew, but okay, I can see that. Yeah, one of our old friends we used to drink with back in Springfield. I can see that. Yeah.
Well, and it seems like she's also playing that same role that she played in Legally Blonde.
Oh, okay. I mean, I see her on a lot of roles where it seems like she's just kind of doing shtick through a lot of it, and it's less character, really. This, they do give the characters in this some serious moments, few in between, but
whenever she told
Rose Byrne, Tiffany Haddish.
Rose Byrne.
Yeah.
When she told Rose Byrne to, patch things up with Tiffany Haddish. That was a very wise moment for an otherwise stupid character in this.
And whenever there's a wise moment like that, they repeat the same moment 5 times. I mean, I will say that when the movie is trying to have a moment with these characters, it does give them that a little too much, because it's just, again, like I said, sort of repeats the same stuff over and over again. This movie's not worth watching. You're wasting your time watching this.
Agreed.
It's not going to make my
it's 80 minutes at least, so at least if you do go,
It wasn't as painful to sit through as I thought it would be from the trailer.
Yeah.
It's still bad, but I wasn't sitting there miserable. I got maybe 3 chuckles out of it. The one where the guy got fired. One where they called Caillou a dumb fuck.
Because that's just true. Oh, yeah.
Kind of funny.
So these two characters also have 3 side friends that are like moms.
I'm glad we remembered that.
Yeah.
Because they were inconsistent. One scene they're mad at them, the next scene they're friends again, then the next scene, it's like every scene before them with them is like non-existent.
Right.
Because it'll always end.
If anything, they're the fakest friends you've ever seen.
Yeah, like their scenes with them will end with those friends like yelling at them and kicking them out or something, and then that's just not talked about again, and they're friendly again the next time we see them. This is not a well-written movie, like at all. But it's, I mean, it's better than Black Christmas, I'll say. So, all right, you want to take a break and get to the other movie?
I'll just say this. I'll remind you that after the credits rolled, I got up, I put on my jacket, and I told you, Brad, my idol died today, and you subjected me to this.
Thank you so much for still coming, because I would have understood if I got a phone call from you that
Neil Peart passed away today.
Neil Peart passed away. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter earlier, and it was talking to Laura and was like, I don't know if I'm going solo tonight. I'm like, I'll understand if Jerrid wants to hang back, but at the same time, I'm like,
well, I was already on the road here whenever I got the news.
Gets your mind off things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but thanks a bunch for coming out to these.
No worries.
All right, we'll take a break again. Enter our contest over at patreon.com for this massive bucket and drink.
Sir, why am I in the bucket, sir?
I'm awfully scared, sir. She gotta put that ridiculous blush on me, sir. So, all right, we'll be back in a bit with Just Mercy. Thanks a bunch.